Using a translated point to find coordinates of other translated points. In the coordinate plane, the point A, 0, 4 is translated to the point A prime, 4, 3. Under the same translation, the points B, -4, 2, and C, -2, 6 are translated to B prime and C prime respectively. What are the coordinates of B prime and C prime? Now there's a couple ways we can do this. We can just look at these points and figure it out, or we can go ahead and graph them on a coordinate plane and count the translation. Okay, I'm going to do it both ways, but I'm going to start by just thinking about the points, and then I'll show you what you could do if you wanted to do it on a graph. So they already give us one translation. We go from the point 0, 4, which is A, to the point A prime at 4, 3. So what I want to figure out is how far did we move to the left or right? Okay, so I need to figure out how far we moved to the left or right, which is the x direction. Okay, so left-right movement is the x direction, and up-down movement is the y direction, just like it would be on a coordinate graph. Okay, so I'm going to look first at how my x's changed. I went from being at the 0 on the x-axis to the 4, which means I'm going to be going to the right 4. So my rule here, if I was going from xy to a rule, it would be x plus 4, okay, which means 4 units to the right because it's positive. Now here in the y direction, I'm starting at 4, but I go down to 3, so I'm going down 1 point. And because down would be negative, I'm going to do y minus 1. Okay? So you don't have to write it like this in this notation. You just have to realize that you're going to the right 4 and you're going down 1. That's all you need to recognize. So then I'm going to take my point B, which is -4, 2, and I'm going to apply this same rule here, this same rule to this point as well to find my B prime. And then again for point C, I'm going to apply the same rule to find C prime. Okay? So here we go. B is -4. Okay, so it's starting at -4, and I want to go to the right 4, or in other words, I want to add 4. So -4 plus 4 is 0. And then with my y, I'm going to go down 1, which is -1. So I'm going to go 2 minus 1, which is 1. So my B prime point is going to be 0, 1. Similarly, for point C, I'm going to start at -2 on the x in the x direction. So I'm going to go from -2 and I want to go right 4, or in other words, I'm going to add 4. So -2 plus 4 is going to be positive 2. And 6 down 1, or 6 minus 1, is going to be 5. So my C prime point should be 2, 5. So this right here is the answer that Alex is looking for. Okay? But just to show you what we did mathematically on this coordinate plane, I'm going to graph all my original points. So A is 0, 4. So this will be A. B is -4, 2. And C is -2, 6. So here's this triangle. Here's the figure. Now I can visualize it. The figure that I'm translating. Okay? And they already told me where A prime goes. It goes to 4, 3. So this is A prime. So we see that we went down 1 over 4. Now we just do that same thing for all of the points. So I'm going to go down 1 over 4, and this would be my C prime point. And down 1 over 4, this would be my B prime point. So my new triangle is now shifted or slid right down there. So let's just check these points here. A prime they gave me was 4, 3, so of course that one's right. The B prime that I found was 0, 1, which matches with my graph. And my C point was 2, 5, which again matches with what I did on my graph. So checking it mathematically and on the coordinate plane here, checking it algebraically and on the coordinate plane here, we see that these are in fact the right answer.